Hello, hunters. Today I'm going to be covering the different leaderboards and type of speedrunning categories that are used in Monster Hunter Wilds. So let's get right into it. The first leaderboard I'm going to be looking at is the speedrun.com leaderboard. This is primarily used for RTA and IGT runs. RTA stands for real time attack and uses a real world timer to track the progression of a run. IGT stands for in-game time and uses a tool called Auto Splitter to track the progression of a run. These are full game story mode clears where the timer starts after the character creation screen and ends upon completion of the Zoshia final boss fight. There's a standardized timer available using Auto Splitter on the website that PC runners use to track the time splits between each monster or segment in their run. The full game runners utilize some of the most advanced techniques and strategies to compete, including routing and input tracking, and are constantly pushing the boundaries of what is possible whenever new discoveries are made. These are any percent runs, which means anything goes and typically takes 2 to 3 hours. There is a frame rate limitation as well as a mod and DLC limitation in place to maintain fair competition across the platforms. The speedrun.com website also has a section for IL running. IL stands for individual level runs, which in Monster Hunter is the most common type of speedrun and typically takes 30 seconds to 10 minutes. On the speedrun.com, there are two categories, the freestyle and restricted rules. Freestyle runs are basically an any percent IL run with very few limitations. A few of the limitations include not being able to use support hunters and not being able to use the training room skill activation bug, which lets you build up skill buffs prior to starting the quest. Restricted rules is a category for runners who want to be able to challenge themselves to a hunter vs monster playstyle by removing tools such as palicos, mantles, traps, bombs, pods, smokes, meats, and a few selected skills such as Fortify and Heroics. Environmental hazards such as falling rocks are prohibited with a few exceptions such as in the Jin Dahad quest for specific mechanics. Lure pods are allowed, but limited, to prevent the monster from fleeing the area. Turf wars and damage from other monsters is also allowed. Some mods are allowed in both of these categories on the site. Allowed mods include cosmetics, fixed size and HP, and quality of life mods such as auto eating, auto buffing, and auto mantle cooldown to reduce the RNG and the amount of time needed between the attempts. The second leaderboard I'm going to look at is going to be the Monster Hunter Rise speedrun.com leaderboard. This was previously the leaderboard for Monster Hunter Rise IL runs, and they made a new section for Wild's TA Wiki running. TA Wiki Rules is a series-specific rule set that has existed in prior games that is designed to test the hunter's ability versus the monster with some limitations in place. The quest must be a single monster slay, so no capturing, and has rules similar to the restricted rules I mentioned before. Some of the notable differences are that the Caprice food skill is allowed. Buffing needs to happen inside the quest. The aerial playstyle is prohibited. Fast, fast travel to the camps is allowed, but restocking in your tent is prohibited, and mods are disallowed entirely. There are also some limitations around what you can and cannot do while riding the secret, including weapon attacks, jumping mount spam, and using the secret save to heal up, and using the supplied items from your secret. Lastly, only YouTube videos are accepted, so people posting to Billy or Nico Nico wouldn't be accepted on this site. The last leaderboard I'm going to cover is going to be the MonsterHunterWildsHub.com website. This is a new leaderboard created for Wilds by some members of the community, which allows for both freestyle and TA Wiki submissions. It has a nice layout and is easy to browse, but there aren't many uploaded runs yet. The freestyle rule set on this site is similar to the speedrun.com freestyle rules. It's stated that all in-game tools and strategies are allowed, so I assume this means support hunters and training room skill activation bug are allowed, even if it isn't explicitly said. The TA Wiki rules on this site are similar to the previous Leaderboards TA Wiki rules, but there isn't any limitation on the Fortify skill or the secret use. I'm going to say a few things about speedrunning leaderboards and mod now. All three of the leaderboards are in agreement that altering the monster's AI is not allowed, and I'm in agreement with that sentiment. These type of mods are best used for making custom quests. All three mods explicitly state that overlays are not allowed, but it's impossible to prove. Damage counting is a skill, and I don't use them in my runs. I do use them when I'm developing my hunts to help with understanding the monster's thresholds, AI, and interactions. It's up to the hunter if they value competitive integrity, and I recommend not using them in attempts that you are planning to upload as speedruns to these leaderboards. None of the leaderboards mentions the use of turbos or macros in speedruns, and these provide a significant competitive advantage. This is one of the reasons I've been recording with an input overlay. It also helps me when I'm doing VOD review since directional inputs are very important in this game. In nearly all other games speedruns on speedrun.com, the turbo or macro runs go into their own category. It's the general consensus from speedrunners as a whole that using these while not being transparent about it is anti-competitive. Lastly, I'm going to talk about tool-assisted speedruns in Monster Hunter, known as TAS runs. These runs using tools like auto hotkey and other tools outside the game to make the game perform specific actions during specific frames require a significant amount of effort to make these unique hunts. Monster Hunter has only a few examples of this, most notably from the runner TSC. Since there are so few players doing it, we don't have much of a need for its own category. This pretty much covers all the topics I wanted to discuss today, and I hope this video will help to give an insight into speedrunning in Monster Hunter and provide some clarity to questions I'm frequently asked. I'm going to get back to hunting now, so I'll catch you all in the next video.